Most OOP tutorial gives you definition. Encapsulation is this, polymorphism is that, here's a dog class that inherits from animal. And you finish it understanding the words, but not why anyone bothered. So today we are doing it differently. We are building one feature, a notification system, 4 separate times. Each version fixes a real problem in the version before it. And at the end, I'll show you the test that separates all 4, which is simply this. How much do you have to change to add Slack? One function, check the type, do the right thing. And I want to be clear, this is fine. If this is all you need, ship it. The problem isn't this code. The problem is what this code becomes. Because when features get added, for example, email needs address validation, SMS has a 160 character limit, everything needs retry logic when the network fails. So 6 months later, that function looks like this. There's 34 lines now. And look at the retry loop. It's copy pasted 3 times. Once inside each branch. So when you find a bug in the retry logic, you fix it in 3 places. And if you miss one, you now have a bug that only happens for SMS. So the obvious next step is classes. Now we have classes. Each one handles its own channel. The email logic lives with email, the SMS logic lives with SMS. That's encapsulation, and it's a genuine improvement. The duplication is gone. But look at the bottom of the service class. The if-else chain is still there. We moved the mess, we didn't remove it. This is the trap I want to point out. Because a lot of code looks like this in production. Using classes doesn't automatically mean you're doing OOP well. If your code still asks what type is this before deciding what to do, you haven't finished the job. So here's the actual fix. First we define a notifier base class. It says any notifier must have a send method that takes a recipient and a message. That's abstraction. It's a promise about shape with no implementation. Then each real notifier keeps that promise in its own way. And now look at the send method at the bottom. One line, look up at the notifier, call send on it. The if-else chain is completely gone. That's polymorphism. And this is the part that actually clicks for people. The service no longer knows or cares what kind of notifier it's holding. It just knows the thing has a send method because the base class guaranteed it. Version 3 is good, but there is one problem left and it's subtle. Look at that init method. The service is building its own notifiers. That means the service is permanently wired to those 3 specified classes. One change. Instead of building them, the service receives them. That's dependency injection. And the name is much scarier than the idea. You are just passing things in instead of creating them inside. And here's what buys you. I just added Slack. And I did not touch notification service at all. Not one line. It has no idea Slack exists and it doesn't need to. There's a second benefit that people miss. That's test. I passed in a fake notifier that record message instead of sending them. So I can test the whole service without sending a single real email. In version 1, that was impossible. The sending was welded into the function. Testable code usually isn't a separate goal you work toward. It's usually just what good structure gives you as a side effect. So let's line up all 4 with the same question. What does it take to add Slack? Version 1, you edit the function itself, new else if branch inside the code that already works. Version 2, 3 separate edits, new class, add it to init, add another else if. Version 3, 2 edits, new class, add it to the dictionary. Version 4, 1 edit, write the class, that's it. But the number of edit isn't really the point. The point is which code you had to open. In the first 3 versions, you had to modify notification service. That's a code that already worked. That other thing also depend on. Every time you edit it, you can break something unrelated. In version 4, you didn't open it all. You added a new code instead of changing the old code. That's the whole goal, and it has a name. It's the open-close principle. Open to extension, close to modification. Now a caveat, because I don't want to oversell this. Version 4 is not always the right answer. If you have 2 notification types and you are never adding more, version 1 is genuinely fine. All of this structure has a cost. More files, more indirection, more to hold in your head. The reason to add it is that you know change is coming. So the honest rule is, don't apply patterns because they are correct. Apply them when the pain shows up. Write version 1, when adding a feature that starts feeling dangerous, that's your signal to move. So that's one feature, 4 versions. Classes alone aren't OOP. If you're still checking types, you're not there yet. Polymorphism removes the if-else. Injection removes the wiring. And the test is simple. To add something new, do you edit old code or just write new code? All 4 versions are in description. If you want to follow up where we do the same thing with the payment system, tell me in the comments. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.